Now, I don't want to say we've struggled without Stephen Gold, but we have struggled without Stephen Gold. Yeah, 1 win in our last 7. It's not great. It's not great. There's not a lot more to say other than that. Today we're back with the FA Cup second round. We've got Southend. We're going to throw in a bonus game of some kind. I'm not sure which game we're going to do yet. Yeah, I'll be honest, I feel a bit miserable, but let's hope we can turn it around today. Yes, folks, how is it going? And welcome back to episode number 18 of Park to Prem. We're back. Stephen Gold is too. Thankfully, he has been out for a long time with an injury, and it hasn't been the only thing that's contributed to our recent struggle in form. But of course, with his groin strain out for 4 weeks, that was a very long month, November, not just because of Stephen Gold being out, but also because we had players going international duty, and the players who went on international duty were a bit of a problem. Ibrahim and Cabazuto, 2 of our more defensive mids. Jones got suspended during it. There was a point where Fuscolini had to play as the ball-winning midfielder. Yeah, we've been shuffling the team around, and between injuries, between international duty, between suspensions, it's been a little bit tricky. But the good news is we have the semblance of a squad back today. Dylan Crowe is also now out injured for a few weeks, and I think I'm prepared to take on Southend. A game that if we win, will go down in folklore. They're in our division. We should beat them. It's the FA Cup. Anything can happen. I realise I've said there, the FA Cup, anything can happen as if we're the underdogs. No, Southend, whilst they are a Football League team of the past, for the last few years in this save game, they've struggled. This is a game I desperately want to win. It's an opportunity to get to the third round. And well, before we get into that game, we need to talk about this form in a little more detail. I don't want to dwell on it too much, because it's been pretty miserable, to be honest. You can see South Shields, we lost at 4-2. Yeah, it wasn't great. Hargreaves, Bradbrook got a hat-trick. He's quite good, it turns out. I say he's quite good. He got a hat-trick against us. He's got 4 goals in 10 games all year, so yeah, of course he got a hat-trick against us. After that game, we drew against Carlisle. Cannonier got a hat-trick. It was great. Jones was sent off in this game, as you can see, and then they got an equaliser, so I was bitter about that. The only win in this run of games, let's just enjoy it for what it was. It was a fortunate win. We won via a penalty. Maitland, the man of the moment. Of course, with Gold out injured, we needed other players to step up. To be fair, they did kind of step up. In many ways, I actually feel like this run of form is less on the attackers, at least to begin with, given the goals that we scored, and more on the defenders. But as you'll come to see, the goals really did start to dry out. Against Kings Lynn, we lost 1-0. Again, an early sending off just kind of derailed the match, and we never looked good in it. We then took on Macclesfield, who of course were promoted with us last year. They got a late equaliser to get a share of the spoils. And then recently, we've lost 2 more games. Against Scunthorpe and Harrogate Town, in both these games, Gold came on off the bench. He couldn't have the desired impact in either. And yeah, to be honest, I just feel a little bit sad. We were top of the league. We were cruising. Suddenly, we're in second, and Chesterfield, who were above us, have a game in hand. Good news though, Stephen Gold is still the top goal scorer by 7 goals, and he is back today. Now, yesterday in the comment section, someone asked, Jack, you've got all these players listed as wanted. Can we see who they're wanted by? And you know what? You asked, I'm going to deliver. Pretty much everyone except Maitland is just wanted by teams on loan. That includes Harry Wallace, who wants out of the club. I can't give him the game time he wants, so I'm probably going to end up selling him. I think he's on £900 a week, so if we could shift him on, it probably would be useful. But yeah, all these other players are just kind of wanted on loan, but because they're squad players, I don't intend to get rid of them. Maitland, the one exception, he is wanted by Sky Bet League One side Burton. I don't know what kind of money it would take to pry him away from us, given the fact he's not been a nailed-on starter this year. If we did get close to the 250k, I guess it would have to be up for consideration. Of course, we'll wait for that to happen before we dwell on it too much and think about the scenario. Let me know how much you'd sell Maitland for, though, down in the comments. I'd love to know what people think. Really, we don't need to sell anyone, but if the right money came in at this level and it wasn't one of our most important players, Stephen Gold, we have to consider our options. Also, by the way, Quansah has signed that new contract with the club I talked about last time. He's tied down to 2029. So that's a little bit of a positive since we were last here. There's not been a lot else really to sing and dance and cheer about. Maybe, though, an FA Cup run can distract us a little bit. So in terms of the team for today's game, this is the side at our disposal. We've got Gold and Maitland leading the line. Reunited, the first start for Stephen Gold since his injury. He can play 75 minutes today. He did come on off the bench in our previous 2 games, but he wasn't really fit enough. Really, I threw him on as a bit of a gamble, hoping he could get a goal to, well, try and rescue either of the defeats that we ended up incurring. Elsewhere in the team, in terms of the defensive mid, I'm actually going to change things up a little bit and bring in Cabazuto. We're going to stick with Butterworth and Fuscolini in the midfield, although, to be honest, at centre mid, we've struggled a lot as of late. We've not been good enough in the midfield, and it's been an issue. We've had to rotate things around. I talked about the injuries, the suspensions, the international duties. It all kind of caught up with us a little bit over the last month, where we were playing 2 games a week pretty much for the entirety of it. And while at the back, Harker is back in the team. I don't want to blame him too much, but A-OK hasn't been A-OK. He's played 10 games, conceded 20, and 6.58 rating. Harker probably would have been recalled sooner into the first team, but he's also been out with an injury for 4 weeks. So, yeah, just lots of injuries everywhere, causing us some issues. The new goalkeeper came in, didn't really do it for us. Then our old goalkeeper got injured, but we're bringing back Old Faithful today. Harker's going to come in. A-OK, I feel like just needs a little bit of respite, a little bit of time to adjust, adapt, and hopefully overcome. But he is looking like a little bit of a flop early on. I say that. We spent £25,000 on him. It wasn't that much to spend on him. I am slightly worried, though. But anyway, let's get into this game. This is the second round of the FA Cup, so a win here lines up a possible Premier League or Championship opposition. As I mentioned in the intro, I've not really got a plan for the second game of today's episode. We have got Chesterfield, who are top of the league, coming up in the FA Trophy. We might do that game. It's in a couple of matches' time. But to be honest, the next couple of games are, I don't want to say they're boring games, but they're games that we really should be winning. And especially the next game, which is Barnet, who we played on the opening day of the season. I don't want to see Barnet again. I don't think you want to see Barnet again. So we're going to see how things play out here. We don't need to make any decisions. I just need a win. I just need one win. You know what? A win would actually make me feel way better. We've not been good enough in the last month. And I do think we were overperforming slightly, as Harker nearly has a howler in goal there. I think he just dropped the ball. Can he collect that? Okay, he can. Calm everyone. Yeah, we've not been good enough recently. Sometimes you have those runs in Football Manager, I feel like, where it just feels like it's not your day and you have to go away and have a break. I did that earlier before I came back for this match. I went and had 20 minutes to myself, had some lunch, thought on it, and you know what? I'm ready and refreshed. It's a new session, new me or something. Maybe I should have restarted the game. I know that some people believe in the Football Manager conspiracy of like the restart modifier. You know, there's like a random luck modifier, and when you restart your game, it resets it. Maybe I should have restarted my game. Maybe that would have helped. We've not played very well, have we, in this first 20 minutes? I'm waffling away, and, well, we're halfway through the first half already. We need to show a little bit more going forward. Maybe we can do it here, because Duffy's played through. He goes round the keeper, and he hits the outside of the post. The centre attack in mid was in some great form to start the year. He has slowed down without, I feel like, Gold ahead of him. And to be fair, I think that's been just felt across the entire team. I didn't quite realise how much we relied on Stephen Gold until Stephen Gold wasn't here anymore. If anything, I feel like the last month where he's been out injured has convinced me that giving him the super long-term contract is the right thing to do. Just as a little reminder, he signed a 4-year deal at the club, but with a 3-year extension should we get promoted, which I'd like to think we do in the next 4 years, as, well, Harker makes a very good save there. He nearly had a calamity early on. He might just have made amends. I don't think A-OK would have stopped that one. We do still have a corner to deal with here, though. Quanta gets it away from danger, but only as far as the Pope. He's going to look to put in the cross, and, well, that's not very Pope-like, is it, to screw up the cross? Still 0-0, though. That pun was awful, I'm sorry. We're coming up to half-time. We've not yet had a shot on target, but maybe we can have a shot on target here. Or maybe Quanta's just going to head it against the crossbar. It remains 0-0. We've not been good enough here. We do have the better XG somehow, but not been a classic, not been an emphatic performance. Kind of resemblant, I feel like, of the last month of football I've had to watch, even with Stephen Gold back in the team. Okay, we're going to get a little bit shouty. I'm far from pleased, but I have got faith in you all to turn this around here. We've been arguably the better team without creating a great deal. Let's see if we can make something happen here. Butterworth, he can hit them from range, and he's going to hit it from range. Ross scores another banger. He scored a banger in the first round yesterday against Cambridge. He's done it again, this time against Southend, who just kind of stepped off him. The centre mid with the attack duty. wandering forward, afforded time and space, and you really can't afford to do that with him. He picks out the top corner, keeper couldn't get to it. We take the lead, and well, after a pretty slow start, I feel like we've got into this game now. I want to see us just keep this momentum going, get a few more goals. Let's get into a nice, comfortable position and not get complacent, which is something we've definitely been guilty of doing lately. I mean, our recent form's been awful. 1 win in 7. I'm trying to put on a brave face. I'm trying to pretend it's fine and that I'm not having a meltdown inside. Let's be clear, I'm absolutely having a meltdown inside. I feel like a month ago, in game time, I would have looked at this kind of game, looked at us being 1-0 up and been A-okay. I would have been confident. I would have been delighted. I would have said, this is going to go our way. Just doesn't feel like that anymore. My trust, my faith in the players is just waning, and Blake's now giving away a penalty. Right. Harker's back in goal. A-OK, dropped. Can Harker show why we've pulled him back into the team? The goalkeeper is sent the wrong way. Campbell scores for them, and we were in the lead in that match for 6 minutes before they drew level. Not ideal. Not really what I want to see. Keeper sent the wrong way. Blake, by the way, at left back has come into the team based purely off form. When he's played left back, he's played better than our alternatives. Of course, Declan John out on loan now. He gave away the penalty there, let himself down with his defending, and we've got to try and claw somehow our way back ahead in this game if we can, but we might be called into some more defensive action here. It's Sears on the overlap, back to Coker, who hits it. Oh my word. Ollie Coker, take a bow. That might have been better than Butterworth's. It wasn't hit with the same degree of power, but he just picked his corner in the top right. I thought actually we kind of dealt with this semi-okay, but the ball pulled back. And then the finish, I mean, he couldn't have put it more in the top corner, could he? From 1-0 up to 2-1 down, and that thing that I said about the fact I just don't feel like I have faith in these players is ringing true again here. I'm going to make some changes. I know that Gold is only meant to play a short amount of time, but he's going to have to play longer here. I'm bringing in Cannoneer. I feel like I just have to keep Stephen Gold on. Elsewhere, Cabazuto's been really poor. I'm going to bring in Jones. I feel like that late snap decision to change things up there at centre mid might have cost us a little bit, to be honest. I feel like I should have trusted my heart more instead of my head. And well, Gold, he's still on the pitch. I got told not to play him for more than 75 minutes. He's probably going to play the whole game here now. And well, could he turn provider? His cross, not ideal. It's not really his forte, is it? Although Duffy, oh my word, an effort from range that hits the crossbar and goes over. A decent opportunity for us goes a-begging. And well, there's going to come a point here, I feel like with 15 minutes left, where we do have to just push the ball forward a little bit more. Try and get the ball into the wide areas and then into the box. Then ask the players to kind of play wide, but then try and funnel it through the middle still, where we kind of have our best players, especially in the later stages of play. Without kind of wide attacking mids, I feel like that is our best bet. To distribute it to the flanks early, then look to get it central after we've stretched Southend wide and hopefully created some channels of space. There is going to be a highlight here, but at the moment, it's not really what we want to see. We want to see ourselves in possession and going forward. Instead, it's Southend with a bit of confidence, a bit of swagger, the home side here, and it's going to be Coker, the goal scorer, running down this right wing. Options in the middle. He whips it back post. It's nodded back into a dangerous area. And you know what? The bad run of form looks like it's going to continue. I felt like when we were top of the league, it was very easy. It was going really well. I was nice and chillaxed. I was chilled, I was relaxed, I was chillaxed, I was having a good time. And now I'm just straight up not having a good time. We are 3-1 down. You know that song, Don't Stop Me Now, because I'm having a good time. No, stop me now. Can we just go to the next match? I'm not having a good time. I'm not having a ball. I do want to stop. Or do I? Though if we get one back, then I start to believe. Blake whips in. Quanta hits the crossbar again for us. The woodwork has been hit on numerous occasions here, but unfortunately, with 5 minutes left, there is just nothing to play for. It just feels like it's one of those days, one of those games where, look, I can point at it and say we've got a little bit unlucky, but ultimately, we've not taken our chances. 23 shots, an XG of 2.31. We could only score the singular goal. Butterworth gets best performer for us, but it's not really much of a crumb of comfort. Harker played well in goal. The defence wasn't terrible, but obviously we give away a penalty, which is always a problem. Daly, who came in at right back, of course, with Crow out injured, didn't cover himself in glory with his 20 aggression. He's an absolute nutcase, and whilst, of course, he didn't give away the penalty, he has got a 6.5 at right back, which is never really ideal. I mean, Dylan Crowe would never. And, well, with that, the FA Cup dream dies for another year. I feel like every year with these lower league saves, I get excited for the FA Cup. I start to dream of what the FA Cup could be, you know, an away tie against Manchester United at Old Trafford. We might make millions off it. Not this year. And, well, with that, it's just disappointment, isn't it? The only silver lining is Chesterfield drew in their game in hand, which does mean they are still 3 points ahead of us. But if we win and they lose, we have the better goal difference. Given how things are going at the moment, though, I mean, a win just doesn't feel like a surefire thing, does it, at all? Quansah wants a rest. We've got Barnet in 3 days as well. Originally, I was going to come back for the FA Trophy third round against Chesterfield, but you know what? I want to just come back and see us win a league game. I think we're going to come back for the game against Weymouth. It's in a couple of games' time. They're in 18th. It should be a winnable one, but given this run of form, nothing's surefire. We have got Barnet in between away from home away. I mentioned before, we took them on at the start of the year in the first live com of the year. We did win it 3-2. It was a bit of a screamer, but I fancy a bit of variety. Weymouth, not a team I can ever recall playing in a live commentary, perhaps ever. First time for everything. There's going to be one person from Weymouth right now pumping their fists delighted. I'm going to get forward to this game. We need a win. Please, Football Manager gods. Please help just give my players some good form or something. Maybe I'm going to go restart the game and then we'll be back. Okay, so we've played Barnet. We've lost against Barnet 2-0. Restarting did nothing. Let's just get to the game. So we're taking on Weymouth. They are way down the table in 18th. This is a game that we should win. But at the moment, we're not able to win at all. It feels like one win in 7 or 8 or 9 maybe even now. Just simply put, not good enough. Chesterfield running away at the top of the table. They are taking on Kings Lynn at home. I would expect them to win that game, to be completely honest with you. You can see here, all the teams behind us in the playoffs very quickly closing the gap. With these playoffs, 4th to 7th play in a quarter-final kind of stage, 2nd and 3rd get a bye, and then they play in the semi-finals against the winners of the 4th to 7th playoff games. I mean, at the moment, we might be lucky if we even make it to the playoffs, to be honest. So in terms of team news, Dylan Crowe is still out injured. Daly is the only option that I have, or Daly is the only option that I have at right back. He's not really covered himself in glory so far. A 6.57 rating. I mean, it makes you appreciate Dylan Crowe, I suppose. Centre-back, we're going with Terry and Quansah. I don't feel like they've necessarily been that bad. I do feel like we've been very unlucky in this run of games, but of course we've got to look to change things a little bit. Harker's going to stay in goal. Blake, you know what, despite giving away the penalty, he wasn't bad against Southend. I did change up the midfield a little bit for the previous game, where we lost during the week against Barnet. As a result, we're going to fiddle a little bit more. It's going to be Ibrahim playing at box-to-box midfielder with Jones and Butterworth in the midfield. Duffy is going to continue to play as our centre attacking mid. He's on a 6.58 rating as of late. Let's criticise his recent form. He needs to play better. Up top, we're going with Cannoneer over Maitland and Gold. I mean, Gold's back in the team. He is a player who we need to kind of just find his form from somewhere. If he can do it today, it'd be sensational. I'm getting frustrated. We really need a win. Let's try and make it happen. It does feel a little bit like all the fixtures have just caught up with our squad, playing midweek, playing at weekends, the injuries that we've had, players gone on international duty, of course, just losing Gold in itself is a massive blow. But now he's back in the team, we're running out of excuses. Yes, we're not having a lot of time between games to rest, and we are having to rotate things a little bit. But frankly, we're just not playing particularly well, which can only really be a disappointing thing. We've not changed anything tactically that would, result in everything going wrong. It just feels like we've not quite been at our best across the board. We just need to get a bit of momentum going. If you've played Football Manager, you know how it can be. It becomes morale manager, it becomes form manager or momentum manager. Get a couple of wins, suddenly it feels like the goals start to flow. And well, we need to turn things around here. And at home against Weymouth, a team who are in 19th, this is the kind of game that we should win comfortably even when we're struggling. The good news is we're on the attack, but we need a bit of end product. And there it is. It's Stephen Gold on his noggin. First goal back, I think, since he's come up back from injury. He got 10 goals in the month of October. We've gone through November without him. And well, we are a little bit into December now. But finally, he's back on the score sheet. Ibrahim giving it to Daly, who does his best Dylan Crowe impression. The header into the bottom corner gives us the lead halfway through the first half. I want to breathe a sigh of relief. We've already blown a goal lead today, so let's not get complacent. Ratcliffe going to start with the ball here for Weymouth and going to look to go long. You'd back Quansah to win the ball in the air there. He hasn't, but Daly, who put under the microscope for his poor form, has won the ball well, and now we're on the attack again. Gold goes for the finish, hits the crossbar, and Weymouth are just about going to get it away from danger, but we have looked on top in this game. Not a great deal of chances either way, and we're already less than 10 minutes away from half-time. We are going to have a corner here, though, and Blake's going to be the man over it. In-swinger to Gold, who hits the woodwork again. I think that is the 4th or 5th time we've hit the woodwork so far in today's episode. It's been one of those days, but the good news is at the break, we're actually winning a football match. It's good news. I'm still going to tell the players that it's absolutely unacceptable. I feel like if I praise them, they're just going to get complacent. So I'm just going to get shouty and aggressive and hope we can keep things going here as well. We are going to have an early highlight to kick off the half. The rain is lashing down, by the way. Like it's a foggy, miserable day here in Manchester. But we have the ball, and while the sun might come out if we can get another goal, as Cannonier finds himself through, scores, but the flag is up. It was beautifully worked. I feel like the front three trio of the target forward, the advance forward, and the advanced playmaker, they have such great link-up play in phases of play like that. Cannonier's run was just a little bit early, unfortunately, and it's not going to count, but we've looked on top in this game. 15 minutes into the half, though, I am going to take off Cannonier, bring in Maitland. Elsewhere, Ibrahim's not been great in today's game, so I'm going to bring in Fuscolini, the Italian stallion himself. And while speaking of the devil, he wins the ball well with the interception, and he plays through Maitland, who's now one-on-one. The subs link up. Maitland, in a wide area, needed to try and cross it in. His cross was disappointing, but we do still have the ball. We could still create something. Daly floats it towards Gold, who heads it on goal, but Ratcliffe holds on. A good opportunity, the kind of opportunity that I would have liked us to take, really, because, well, whilst this kind of remains a one-goal game, there's a nervous energy that I can't quite shrug off. Nothing feels certain at the moment. This highlight, though, is continuing, which makes me want to believe maybe there's more. Blake on the near side, plays it in. Maitland has an effort that's blocked. It falls to Stephen Gold. Very, very fortunate. He's hit the woodwork twice. He's hit the back of the net twice. Stephen Gold with his second of the game. Maybe he's back. Don't call it a comeback just yet, but this is what we've missed for the last month and a half. Blake with the ball in, a bit of fortune about the block shot. It falls the way of Gold. Uses all 4 of his finishing to find the bottom corner. And we double our lead. That gives me the breathing room, and to be honest, Weymouth have been pretty poor in this game. With 20 minutes left, I'm starting to think this game is ours for the taking, and well, if we could get a third, then I might actually start to relax and party. Blake whips it in. Gold, glancing header just over the crossbar. It was a good opportunity. Wasn't an easy chance necessarily, but wouldn't turn down the opportunity to make this 3-0. We are straight into another highlight, though, so maybe something more is going to happen. Stevie Gold with it, gives the ball away. Sadie now with the ball in the middle. Now with Learley, who is going to put it wide to Johnson. Learley again with the ball back to Johnson. This little link-up play in the middle I'm not enjoying. A period of sustained possession, but Jones wins the ball well, and now we're going to look to spring the trap. Maitland with all his pace gets through. Can he take it round the keeper and score? He can't. The keeper makes a really good stop, actually, in the end to put it out for a corner. With 15 minutes left, it remains a 2-goal game. Weymouth just clinging on in this game a little bit as Gold now has a header on goal that's going to be scrambled away from the corner. And to be honest, this feels like a win in the making. And with 5 minutes left, you know what? No more highlights, Football Manager. I'll happily just take a nice, comfortable 2-0. A clean sheet would be a nice bonus too, because we've not kept many of those this year, it feels like. Bailey with the ball, though, bringing it forward. I mean, if they get one back, maybe I panic. But it doesn't feel like they're going to get one back. And maybe we're in it with a chance at a third. It's Maitland through one-on-one. Kicks it straight at the goalkeeper. That's another disappointing chance, really, that is wasted. We might get another opportunity here, though, as Blake crosses it into Gold. Back with Blake here. It's whipped in towards Butterworth. He gets his header on it. I think Gold was offside in the build-up, or Blake even was offside in the build-up. Nothing coming from it. That's fine, though. We're going to get the win, and I just feel relieved more than anything. We were by far and away the better team. In the second half, we really stepped it up a level. This is the FC United that was top of the league a month and a half ago. I don't know where it's been for a month. I'm hoping it was a blip. It was a long blip, but I feel like we saw glimpses there of what we're capable of. Unfortunately for us, Chesterfield won 3-2. Elsewhere, York won. I think Maidstone may have even dropped points. They did indeed. They drew against South Shields 1-1. So not a terrible result there as far as we're concerned. Worth noting, Maidstone do have a game in hand. If they win that, they would very likely go ahead of us on goal difference. So yeah, not a pretty picture at the top of the table compared to what we were looking at, but let's look at the positives. A big win here. Maybe now we can get a bit of momentum going again. Stevie Gold with a man of the match performance. Been a while since I've been able to say that, but delighted to see it. He impressed us, both goals in this game. And with it, maybe we're starting to turn a corner. That's what I'm going to want to believe, because our form hasn't been good enough. We were disappointing against Southend. The defeat against Barnet, frankly, was humiliating. We've not got an easy run of games this month. Chesterfield in the FA Trophy, then Yeovil and Fylde in 6th and 5th. At home, I would back us to beat them. With our recent form, it's difficult to back us to beat anyone, really. Looking slightly further ahead, we've got York in 3rd and Chesterfield in 1st, mid-January. I feel like that is a duo of games we just can't really turn down. Two teams who, without a doubt, we're going to be battling it out with, I'd like to think at least, for the playoffs at the very least. Yeah, those are tempting games. I think we'll be back then. Apologies if a bit of the frustration that I'm feeling has seeped through into the video today. I feel like sometimes in Football Manager, the game's a cruel mistress, and I feel like we've been on the receiving end of it just a little bit. If we look at the XG table, so I want to bring up the XG table. Is this just going to upset me? If we look at the XG table, we're doing very well. We are underperforming our kind of expected points. I feel like we've got a tad unlucky. If you want to believe the XG table, we're the best team in the league by 4.5 points. Of course, that's not how football works, though. If you have enjoyed today's video, do drop a like on it as always, guys. Let me know what you make of the team. Let me know what you'd be doing. Anything that you'd change? Is it just one of those periods of Football Manager I need to ride out? I'd love to hear your words of wisdom down below. And besides that, we're back tomorrow with 2 big league games. We're going to turn things around. It's a shame we couldn't get an FA Cup run going, but that's going to go to the back of our minds. We're coming in ready, refreshed, renewed tomorrow. I'll see you then. And well, until next time, it is me, Jack. I'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.